Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we are doing a false eyelash tips and tricks, things that helped me when I was learning how to put on false lashes. I'm also going to do a really short demo and just kind of talk to you guys for a little bit. Now this was requested from one of you guys. I want to say it was Nanette. If it isn't, let me know down below. I'm trying to find the comment. It was on one of my recent videos, but I just can't seem to find it, so I'm just a big dummy. But you guys let me know who requested this down below. But yeah, let's jump into it. So first off, let's just start with some basic tips that I have for you. As far as just practicing, just know it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of practice. It took me about a year before I was really comfortable putting on false lashes. I am by no means saying that it's going to take you that long. I'm just letting you know what it took for me. So just be patient with yourself. And in that same line, you want to make sure that you are using the right tools. So if you're somebody who has sensitive eyes, it's going to be most important to find the right lash glue. You want something that's not going to irritate your eyes, something that maybe is latex free. Now me personally, I like using the duo glue that comes in the tube. So the stuff that looks like this. I also enjoy the Revlon lash glue that comes with the wand. I don't have any of that right now. I have tried different lash glues. I've tried the duo latex free that comes in the wand, and I've also tried the duo black glue, the lash glue that dries down black in the wand, and I don't like that either. One of them, the latex free one, just didn't seem to hold my lashes, and then the black one, some people really enjoy the black lash glue because it's easier to blend in your lashes to your lash line. However, if you mess up and get eyelash glue somewhere else on your eye look and it dries down clear, it's not going to be a big deal. If you use a lash glue that dries down black and you get it somewhere else on your eye look or your face, it's going to be an issue. So I prefer lash glue that dries down clear. Now, following that, you also want to make sure that you are using the right type of lash. You want to use something that is inexpensive but still really nice quality. So if you're a beginner, you don't want to run out and buy a bunch of mink lashes that are 20 or 30 bucks, because you're going to mess them up. It's just going to happen. You're going to mess them up and it's going to be frustrating and you've just wasted a whole bunch of money. You want to find lashes that are under $5, and there are just a ton of varieties that are in that price range that are wonderful. And that are very conducive to beginners. Brands that I really enjoy are Ardell, Salon Perfect, Kiss. I also love Cherry Blossom, and I love Broadway Eyes. Now the last two brands that I talked about, I can't find in like CVS's or Walmart's or anything like that. I find them in my local beauty supply stores, and I'm talking not like Sally's Beauty. I'm talking about your local beauty supply store where they sell weaves and wigs and that kind of thing. They usually sell brands like this. This is like a Cherry Blossom pair. I'm actually wearing a pair of Cherry Blossoms today. These run about $2 a pop. So not only are these very inexpensive and they come in a wide variety of beginner-friendly styles, they have a very, very thin band. So the band on these is almost imperceptible. It's clear, it's invisible. You're not going to have a crazy thick band on that. I would avoid using brands like e.l.f. and Wet n Wild. They are very inexpensive and they do have some fun styles, but you see they have a very, very thick plastic band on them, and that is going to make them very difficult to work with because they're not going to want to form as easily to your... The next thing I want to talk about after you find the correct lashes is making sure that they are cut down appropriately. Now, I generally don't have to cut down my lashes very much. I have bigger eyes and I have just a bigger features in general, like a big old fat head. So generally I don't have to cut down lashes, but you want to make sure you cut them down appropriately so that they're comfortable on your eye and it's going to make your application easier. And always when cutting down lashes, you want to make sure you cut them from the outside first. Don't cut from the inside. And the reason for that is that you want them to look natural. So if you cut from the inside and then you just have your natural lashes and then boom, big false lashes, it's not going to look as seamless or as natural. You want people to ask you what mascara you're wearing and not what false lashes you're wearing. Generally. I mean, there are times when we go for the crazy lashes for effect, but for most of the time from day to day, you just want people to be like, wow, what mascara are you wearing? So when you cut from the outside in, it's gonna just help the lashes blend in to your natural lash line just a little bit more easily. The next point I want to talk about is make sure when you apply the glue to your lash strip that you give it plenty of time to get tacky. When you apply the glue to the lash strip, I like to make sure I wait at least 30 to 60 seconds to make sure that that glue is tacky enough to help give me some control on the eye, so that when I set it down on my lash line, it sticks, and then I can, you know, maneuver around and set the rest of the lash line in place. If you don't let that glue get tacky, what's going to happen is it's going to just kind of fly around all over the place, and you're going to get it set here, and then you're going to go to set it, you know, on the outer corner, and it's going to come flying off. It's just going to be, that is the biggest mistake that I made as a beginner, and that I know a lot of people make. You really want to make sure that you give yourself enough time and give that glue enough time to really start to set, because it's just going to make it so much easier in the long run. And then the last thing I want to mention before we get into the demo is make sure you're using the right method of application. Some people like to use their fingers. I prefer tweezers because it gives me a little bit more precision. You also have to be very careful if you're going to put a big pointy metal thing close to your eye. And then other people really enjoy these types of lash tools. I really like this one. This one is from BH Cosmetics. It's nice, it's heavy, it's metal. It gives me a lot of control. I will use this sometimes. I used this tool a lot when I was a beginner because it just gave me a lot of help and a lot of application. I was able to, you know, set down the lashes, and then I used this side to really press them into my lash line. So, you know, investing in a $4 or $5 tool like this on a company from BH Cosmetics is really, really nice. They do have tools like this in like the Kiss lash sets, and I think in like some of the Ardell ones, but I don't generally like them. They tend to, because they're so flimsy and plasticky and light, they tend to work against me rather than with me. So if you want a tool like this, BH Cosmetics sells one, and it's awesome. I'll link that down below. All right, guys, so that's about it as far as tips. We're gonna cut to the demo, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, so I'm gonna show you how I apply my lashes. Now, I've got my lashes off. I've got all the glue off of the band that comes, that just, it holds them to the plastic in their case. And I'm just gonna start applying my lash glue. Now, if I were wearing liner today, what I would do is take a matte black liner and kind of just run it along the front part of the band, because what that's going to do is that is going to help hide the lash band a little bit more and help it blend into your liner. But since I'm not doing that today, I'm just going to do the glue because we've got this nice invisible band, so we're just gonna work with that. All right, so I've applied my glue to my lash band. Now I've applied a little bit thicker of a line of glue just because I've been having problems with lashes adhering to my eyes lately. I don't know what it is, or if my glue is just getting old. So since it dries clear, what I did is I just applied a little bit thicker of a line just to help myself out a little bit. And while this is drying, the key is to give the lash glue about 30 to 60 seconds to dry down enough to where it's tacky. But while it's doing that, I'm going to take the lashes and kind of shape them so they're used to kind of being in that eye shape. Now, if you're putting lashes on somebody else, you never want to blow on them because that's just not sanitary. But I do them if I'm just putting it on myself. Another thing I would recommend is that if you are a beginner, maybe start with your fingers. I prefer tweezers, but if you use tweezers to apply your lashes, just be very, very careful. The last thing you want is to poke your eye out, because that's just not a good look for anybody. So I've got my lashes. So what I like to do is I like to start and apply them, trying to make sure my hand isn't in the way. Set them down right on top of my lashes already and kind of place them where I want them and get them as close to the lash band as possible. And I just start in the middle, and then I will take the outside and start setting that right along the lash line. Now this is just the way that I found is the easiest for me to get the right placement and get them as close to the lash band as possible. And once I've got those set where I want them, I will take the inner corner and press that up against my lash line. And for some reason, my inner corner lashes have been fighting me recently. So they are been the ones that have been taking the most time. Or that's the portion of my application that has been taking the most time. All right, and once I've got the lashes in place, what I like to do just to create a little bit more of an illusion that they're actually part of my lash line is I like to flip them up a little bit and then press them down into the lash line. And then once I do that, I just kind of push them back down again. And then I just wait for the glue to clear, or the glue to dry clear, but that's about it, guys. That's how I apply them. So I'm gonna zoom back out. All right, guys, so that's how I put on my lashes. There's really nothing to it. It just takes practice, takes patience. Make sure you're using the right products, the right tools. So make sure you're using the right lash glue, the right lashes, the right method of application, and make sure you're letting that glue dry, and make sure you're cutting down the lashes appropriately. And those are just my tips and tricks as far as lashes are concerned. And guys, like I said, it's just gonna take practice. So, and it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. Things that work for me might not work for you. So, you know, even though I love this duo lash glue, it might not work for you. It might irritate your eyes. You might have to try something else from a different brand. So just know that going in, and you're gonna be fine. All you have to do is practice. It's the same with winged liner, with eyebrows, with lining your lips, with contouring. It takes practice and patience, but I know you guys can do it. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know what your tips and tricks for lashes are down below. I'm always learning something new from you guys, and it's amazing, but I hope this was helpful for you. If you are struggling with lashes, or if you're a beginner and lashes just seem really intimidating, you can do it. It's just gonna take some time. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week, and I'll see you next time.